We're not self-sufficient. Russia has its own oil, its own food, it doesn't have to import anything. It can survive without the world. We, a tiny little island, do not have that luxury.
Hey fam, Pressy here once again. Welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that from wherever you, my people, are watching this from, you're doing alright and God has protected you and preserved you very well. And to those of you that continuously show me support on here, thank you so very much for your support. That really means a lot to me. And as always, we do have an interesting episode to look at today and give our takes and opinions on. This is a palm-colored man who is literally calling out the UK and the West in particular for the atrocities they have committed against, third world countries. And from the way he's talking, he's like, we are afraid for what is coming next because Africa is rising and China is rising, Russia is rising. If all these people team up and they decide to treat us as we have treated them, I don't know who is going to help us. And he's like, I think it is time for us to be kind because we are going to need these people. It's so hard for the West to be accountable, or for some of them to even wake up and give, just take accountability for what they have done. And in my head, I also be asking my question. He said he's fighting for us. And I'm like, anyways, we are going to reserve that for now. We are going to watch this video and I'm going to come back and give my opinions, but I want you guys to let me know also what you think in the comment section.
When this collapse comes, and it's going to come, we in the UK are going to need to have some serious reflection on mistakes that have been made, and especially our foreign policy in history. And we're going to have to rely on these nations that we've been stealing from for years to deal with us, because we need them. We're not like Russia. We're not self-sufficient. Russia has its own oil, its own food, it doesn't have to import anything. It can survive without the world. We, a tiny little island, do not have that luxury. We need to import. That's why we've stolen so much shit in the history. So what happens, do you think, in the next decade as African countries are rising and getting more powerful, and the Western countries that had them under their heel for so long, like the UK where I live, are on the way down and their economies are collapsing? What help do you think we're going to get from those countries that are becoming more powerful? How do you think that the Africans are going to look towards the English with regards to trade deals and buying their uranium off them if we need to? They're not going to look too kindly, are they? Especially if there's absolutely no apologies whatsoever. And as far as I can tell, this country doesn't apologise for jack shit. And the reason it doesn't apologise is because if it apologised for the stuff that it's done, it'd have to start giving back all of the stuff that it's stolen. I've spent hours inside the British Museum. That place is an absolute, it's a treasure trove. It's incredible. And it's nearly all nicked. And we're going to have to, in the UK, in the West, really start looking at our place in the world and really start looking as to whether we really do value the things that we say we do. I saw somebody earlier saying, this is what the West do. They just play pretend. It's no wonder the West now accept a man being a woman if he just identifies as one, because we in the UK have been identifying as a nation that is on the side of law and order, a nation that values free speech as it's censoring everybody, a nation that values freedom of the press and is a shining light and a beacon for freedom of the press throughout the world, whilst it's literally torturing the best journalists the world has ever seen in its capital. We say we are these things. Our government says them all the time. The diplomats are like that. But it's just all hot air. Nothing we do as a country backs up what these people are saying the country is. Nothing. I love my country, and that's what I want my country to turn into, to be. I think it's the most patriotic thing a person can do. But when I talk about these things, people call me a Putin puppet. They've been propagandized to such a degree. They don't know their allies when they meet them. And we've got some serious apologising to do in this country. To all of these nations that we have stolen from, to all of these nations whose leaders we've helped assassinate and overthrow, all of these coups that we've done around the world in countries just because we didn't like what they did. So we killed them and we overthrew them and we put in a dictator who created a secret service and was just brutal to the people in that country. We didn't care, as long as we carried on getting the oil. We're meant to be a country that cares about these things. It cares about truth and honesty and justice. This country prides itself on the UK justice system. Well, there's no greater injustice in this world right now than the imprisonment of Julian Assange, and we're the ones doing it in the UK. And to all those people in Africa, rise up. I'm in the West and I'm fighting for you. And I tell you, we really are the people in the country, the people in the UK, the people in this chat in the UK who know the truth. We're on your side. We want our country to be the things that it says it is, and it's clearly not. And I really do wish to see the rise of Africa in my lifetime. I would love to see it. And we're seeing at the moment the rise of Russia and China. I'd love Africa to go with that as well. But this is not good for the West, especially if we carry on the way we are, acting as if everything we've done has been noble and pure. And that's just not the truth, is it? Okay, I want my country to join the BRICS alliance. I really do. Or at least ask nicely if we can be a part of it. I mean, what would you rather do? Would you rather be, under the boot of America and doing whatever they want and going around the world assassinating any leaders that stand up to us because we're stealing all their wealth? Would you rather carry on doing all that? Or would you rather our country ask politely to join an alliance that wants to deal with each other in a mutually beneficial way where they respect each other's sovereignty and boundaries and culture? Would you rather us ask to join that?
I'm so glad that blindfolds of delusion is falling off the eyes of some of these palm-colored people. And they are realizing that a time is come for their empires and kingdoms to collapse. Because I think when they were building these empires, they thought that they will sustain it to the end. But the thing is, you cannot sustain empires for centuries and generations or for forever, for eternity, when you established it on foundations of theft, looting, and on things that do not belong to you. At some point, the people that were sleeping, the people that were, ignorant, the people that were brainwashed, yes, you can't keep them in, deep slumber mode for forever. They will definitely eventually wake up. And I think this is the pressure and the panic that some of these people are feeling right now. And they know for sure that a time is come when they cannot surely keep stealing like they usually do. They cannot continue to unalive and take out people that decide to stand against them and oppose their bad, policies in regards to, their countries and who is supposed to be running their countries and who is supposed to be utilizing their resources. So, you are seeing a lot of African countries now pushing back on so many of these Western countries, and they are taking such a strong stand, and they're saying it is time, we don't want you to dictate us no more. We are sovereign nations, and I think we are capable of making our own decisions, and your time has come to an end. And it is scary because to them, they can't live when they are not terrorizing. When they don't have anybody under their feet, they can't live, because how can they live? Because if people are rising, then these are the same people they've been stealing from. So how are they going to survive, right? So, and they see what the BRICS is doing. This is literally a coalition that every Western nation is afraid of. Because if you are in America, if you are in the UK, you are in Europe, anywhere, how the wealth and the opportunities and everything that you're seeing that you guys have has been sustained by the wealth from underneath my ground where I am seated right now, which is Africa. And that's the reason as to why global big leaders are now afraid. That is why Trump is also, slapping the BRICS with tariffs, because he knows that if the dollar is no longer going to be used, then what is the future of the United States? You see that lots of these countries and their people are in such a panic mode, and they should be. They rightly should be in that panic mode. And I can't wait to see these countries rising. And I'm sorry, it's not that I want revenge or what, but I think I want us to be in control of what rightfully is ours. That's what I want. And that's what so many African countries want. That's what so many African people want. That's what so many countries that have been stolen from want from now and on. And now for these people to start literally, because you see the leaders are doing whatever they are doing to make sure their foot stays on the continent. They are literally, it's literally like a new scramble, let's say a re-scramble, right? For, Africa, because each and everyone wants to stay their foot on the continent, because they know if they are kicked out, there's no future. And I'm not sure if you have come across the news that the French Empire is officially collapsed, which means it is broke. And the reason as to why it is broke is because it's been kicked out of West Africa in so many countries, out of Burkina Faso, out of Mali, out of Niger. And if they are kicked out, we have been saying this for decades and decades, and so many people have always also been coming out to say that if the French Empire is kicked out of Africa, they are not going to be able to sustain themselves. When the leaders are scared, what about the people? What about the citizens? And you do have a lot of those that are still under delusion of we are still, we have it. Until when one day you're going to wake up without a roof on your head. That's when you're going to know that, yes, everything that has a beginning definitely has an end. I can only imagine so many palm-colored people like him, who literally is saying that he's fighting for us Africans. We don't want anybody to fight for us anymore. I think we got this. When we left people to fight for us, we have seen the repercussions and the outcomes of that. Yes, the outcomes of that is always people coming and passing through the windows and taking whatever they want to take, because they will remind you of how we helped you here. We don't want that anymore. I think we are still very, very capable. So I don't think he's really, really fighting for us, for people like me. No, he's fighting for people that look like him. He's fighting for mercy. He wants his people to be pitied. I don't think if all the atrocities that were committed on us, on melanated people, have been committed on them, I don't think they would pity, because vengeance is in their DNA. We are the only people that always have to be reminded of how, we have to be very forgiving. It's okay, we can forgive, but forgetting, if we forget, then we are going to repeat the same mistakes That's one of the reasons as to why I'm like, no, we may not revenge, but we are not going to forget, so that we don't repeat the same mistakes. So no, he's not fighting for us, but he's definitely trying to, plead to the African audience so that we lean into this, which I don't think we are going to lean into it. I know that one by one we are rising. Might start in West Africa. Uganda joined BRICS as well. Different countries are joining this bloc. And I think lots of them will always, with what he's saying right now, lots of them will come out to say, you can look over the past, and forgive us. Which I know for sure that most of these people cannot even bring themselves to apologize. So it is very interesting to see that some of them are now coming out to take an accountability of what their governments have done. The same governments that are crying about migrants and stuff like that, but then they are forgetting of how they are terrorizing other people in their countries, and they're literally destroying their homes, and these people are literally running away. So the terror these people have really caused is beyond repair. The relationship is beyond repair. So, and I don't even get it how they come out to tell us, forget about the past. That happened so long ago. If it happened so long ago, how comes the Jews do not forget about what happened to their people? But we should forget. We should, move on. For my people that reside on this continent, the moving on we are supposed to do is supposed to be from what they are asking, because this is like a plea, we are here for you. We can't wait to see you rising. We will be rising. But the thing is, we will not center you. We are centering our people. And I can't wait to see that time when our people are centering themselves, because we deserve it. We deserve it. We have been through a lot, and I think we deserve some bit of rest. We deserve some bit of us just being, the priority, because we are never prioritized from these people. And I don't blame them. They have every right not to prioritize us, because, are we their responsibility? It's people that, are effed up in the brain, these leaders that prioritize them and dance to the crumbs that are thrown around for them. Only for them, when they are kicked out of power, everything that has been given to them, they are seized by the same governments that are supporting them, that are putting them in power. For those of you that are trusting in the chariots, for those of you that are trusting in your, in the wealth, if this block rises, I think things will really, really go down so bad. What do you guys think? If you are in the West and you're watching this, put your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think these people are afraid that something is about to come to them? Which, yes, something is about to come to them. And do you think they are fighting for us? I don't believe that. Put your thoughts in the comment section, and please subscribe to the channel if you have not, and I'll definitely see you in another amazing video. Until then, my name is Gracie and I love you. Peace.